What's happening, gang? How's everybody doing? Hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm Justin. Welcome to the Ivy League. Welcome to the Ivy League Trading live stream, guys. We're here to bring together a group of traders, whether you're new, just starting out, whether you've been in the game for a while. All right, I'm building this platform to be able to have a place that traders can go to and don't have to spend a bunch of money. Okay, and then you need to get educated, but guys, you can still come to a place where you don't have to pay an extravagant amount of money and be sold every little thing. Again, if you don't know, I'm Justin. It's Ivy League Trading live stream. I kind of just started it up and wasn't ready. So what an eventful weekend. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Like, share, subscribe, please. We got a lot of information today, guys. A ton. We got Powell this week. We have job numbers. We have some inflation data. All right, we have FedEx earnings. Going to go into the transport. That's going to be big, guys. That's going to be big. Yeah, so let's kick it off. How are you guys doing tonight? If you guys have any questions, post them in the chat, okay? We'll get to them. Tickers in the chat. All right? So, if you don't know, I've been trading for quite some time now. We started this channel probably about 3 weeks ago. All right? We've been spot on, gang. We've been spot on. We've been on a lot of these moves before they've taken off. You guys are hearing a lot about BABA, right? Might be time to sell. Because we actually got in. Full disclosure, we called it out right here as an example. We called it out on that day. Really, right here was the day I was watching it. Right off of this double bottom. There's a few reasons why. All right, it didn't really have anything to do with news. All right, I mean, yeah, they have this news to help bring things out, but it's just it's weird because I've been just feeling the sentiment. I've just been it's calling me, man. If you guys know what movie that's from, type it in the chat. It's funny. Shit just keep calling me, man. So anyway, I hope you guys had a great day. If you guys are fathers, hope you guys had a great Father's Day. The PGA US Open, man, that was good stuff. You know, that was a good golf match Sunday. I was hoping Ricky Fowler was able to, I said Saturday. I said, man, I think Clark's got this. He was just in the zone. He was just doing his thing. He was just being dominant. And then Rory McIlroy and Ricky, it's what happens. It's hard, man. It just shows how hard it is, especially when you have so many people that you're competing against. I don't know what they start out with, maybe 100. I don't know, 50, 80. I'm not sure. So, guys, what are we going to get into? First, we got to get into the data. We're going to look at the data. All right, we're going to get into some stocks I have on my watch list. I still have some other ones. So if you don't know, there's been a lot going on. Okay, everyone has a lot going on. But it's just what's been going on lately with me and the family. It's we're done with it. No more, please. The past 2 years have just been, I don't even want to say it. It's just been a lot, okay? And we're good. We've battled through it. No more. That's all I'm asking for. Okay, so I was a little bit behind today. My grandmother is home. She is out of the hospital. She's doing just fine. Like I told you guys, she's good to go. I'm going to keep her in a good, well-balanced diet. I think, again, if you don't know, I had a cousin of mine pass away, and it's so unfortunate, in a car accident, 24 years old. Just somebody that should never have to endure or go through something like that. And, and I think it got her a little bit. And, so she's out. We're good. We're moving on. Not that you can ever move on from something like that, but, you do the best you can. Things happen in life, and you just have to, accept them, and you have to move on, guys. And you have to keep pushing forward. What I like to do with things like that, guys, is I like to just say, what would that person want of, what would they want from me? What would they want me to be doing? So that's kind of how I put it. I told my grandmother, I said, hey, think about, my grandfather, her son, and obviously her sons, son now is with them. Her grandson, which is my cousin, was really close with them. You know, what would they say right now? You know, we got to watch your diet. We got to watch all these other things, and they, you know, they, what would, you got to think, what would they want for you? You know, so yes, that's what's been going on. We got a big week. We're starting out fresh. We've had a lot of time away from the desk, so we got to kind of remember where we left off last week, things of that nature. So let's get into it, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, post them in the chat. I'd be obliged to help you out with them, whether it's tickers, whatever it is. We kind of don't need level or time and sales up right now, unless we go up to the futures market, which we're going to go into right now, guys. And I think there may be a storm coming my way, so I don't know. I'm going to try and get through this pretty quick. I had a lot of things written out, and of course, I don't go with them. It's just, you know, I kind of like hit the live button and kind of like went about it on my own and wasn't really prepared and should have took a little breather. So again, I'm new at this, being in front of the camera and stuff. I'm just trying to do the best that I can do and not showing that, you know, it's not nervousness, but it makes you think. You know what I mean? If you've ever tried to do it, it makes you like really, you start thinking and you start thinking too much. At least I do. So futures are down, gang. Futures are down right now, only 0.17%, not a big deal. Not too much, but they have sold off slightly. Let me tell my other half that I love her and I want to wish her a good night. If you are watching, Bean, I love you. You have a good night. So what do we got? We have economic data. So what I want to do, I want to start off with the economic data. All right, I want to go into Blinken and the trip to China with Xi Jinping. He had mentioned some stuff about Taiwan and how this influence the semiconductors. It probably can. You know, it probably will. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some stocks. We're going to get into some sentiment. We're going to get into some macro stuff. Again, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. If you could, like, share, and subscribe. Share this to someone that you think could use the information. Okay, because it's really important. All right, there could be somebody, whether they're struggling or just want a place that they could go to, you know. And that, again, that's what we're doing here. We're building a group, a community of traders. Okay, that you can come to. You can ask any questions. It doesn't matter if you're new. Been doing this for a while. All right, we're a team. You're a portfolio manager. I'm a portfolio manager of my own money. All right. Some of the stuff we do here may not fit your risk tolerance. Okay, so do at your own discretion. I am not a financial advisor. Okay, this is what I do with my capital. So let's kick it off, guys. We have Powell Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. I know that already. We have building permits. This is going to be pretty big. This building permits is going to be pretty big. This is going to give us insight on future home builds. Okay, are they shrinking? Are they growing? All right. As you see here, previously 1.4 million. You really want to just watch the 17 because again, the consensus is coming in at 23, just above last month's estimate, or actually not estimate, but last month's data, and they're forecasting 4.25. So they're forecasting some growth. Now, the permits, guys, as far as I know, whether this is building or land, now we can click on it. It may not give us that information. So this could be a bit constricting, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, this is outlined red, so it's saying that the market is going to be paying attention to it. Let me just seasonally adjust it. And again, this is all seasonally adjusted, as you may or may not already know. Revised data showed. So it's like a month of decline, indicating that the housing demand remained subdued due to impact of higher interest rates and rising consumer prices. Permits for the volatile multi-segment total of 7.7% to a rate of 561,000, the lowest since July 2021. While single-family stations increase. So I'm going to have to dive into this, because I'm not sure exactly what it covers. Okay, let's just say, guys, let's take land and you have a neighborhood being built. Okay, what happens is you get, let's say the contractor, he gets building permit, or he gets his permits for, we're just going to say 3 phases, okay? And I want to say after 3 years, at least in Delaware. Now every state is going to be different, whether it's the location, whether it's not necessarily just a state, but let's just say if you're in the city, like the city of Wilmington or city of Philadelphia, Baltimore, LA, the state, the area, there's probably different regulations there. So what happens is now, again, this may not permit to it because it's building permits. Now, I don't know if what I am saying would relate to building permits, but I see how it could relate to it, if you know what I mean. So what I'm saying is let's say if you get permits and you just get 3 permits for 3 phases, and you got the first phase, like, where you want it. You start on the second phase, whether it's because of material or different reasons. You just starting there because you're waiting for, let's just say, material to finish that first phase to get it done correctly, or, to get it finished. And then you still have the third phase, and now we're on year 3. We're coming up on year 3. Okay, it's either 3 or 5. It actually might be 5. Don't quote me, but I'm just giving you an example, okay? So what happens is if you go into the 3rd or 5th year, we're just going to say 3. You know what? We're going to say 5. That makes it easier. So if you have 3 phases and you're on your 5th year, you have three permits, and you're going on to your 5th year, and you have not started construction or anything on that, whether it's land, for your permits, then you are not technically, because you're grandfathered in, all right? After so many, once you get it, you're grandfathered in. You don't have to get a new permit unless you've started work, unless you've, dug some holes and started some excavation, whatever. So you don't know how much of this number is, where they could have, I would expect somewhat of a decline. Okay, I don't know year over year now, because you have different. The thing is like you have different places that are building up. That were slow 20 years ago. There wasn't much going on, and now things are building up. Austin, Austin was a hotbed of just people moving, companies moving. You have Florida now. There was some data that I was looking up on Bloomberg today about a lot of people moving into Florida and how it's changing. Their low cost. All right. In the South, things are a little bit cheaper there. Of course, people don't make as much. So what I wanted to say about that was the fact that you don't know what exactly is going on for each permit that's being, put in, or why something isn't being put in or something. So it could get very complicated, but the numbers are the numbers. And I just wanted to tell you guys, you could also get less numbers also, because maybe again, they're coming up to their deadline and they end up, digging ground so they don't have to refile for it. So there's a lot of little different scenarios. I just, I'm not going to sit here and come up with all kinds of different reasons. I just wanted to give you guys that information. So, you should expect, because it saves the contractor money. Instead of having to go get it, they just go in and say, here, we've done so. We've started on it, so they don't have to, go back and get their permits because they didn't start the work. I felt like I was going somewhere with that. I want to make this quick again. We have inflation rate for whatever it is, for England or whatever. We have some inflation data. Okay, now we have a lot. It looks like we have a lot of real estate mortgage data this week, which is going to be important. It's going to be important. Again, we have Powell. We went over that. We have Fed speakers too. We have Bullard tomorrow morning early. Now, I don't know where this is, but I know last week he was in another country. Give me 1 second, please. Hold on. I hate to get up and leave, guys. But anyway, thank you. Sorry about that. Right here, I thought it was. Is it Tuesday morning? Yeah, because today is Monday. All right. Today is Monday. Now I'm going to go over some charts. I just wanted to go over this, guys, with you. So we have you have some Fed members speaking other than Powell, but Powell's obviously going to be the big one. Friday. PMI, S&P Global PMI. Now, it shouldn't, I'm going to say, unless it comes in like way over or way under, or there's like an extravagant change, the market might not move that much. You're going to get some volatility here, but it's not going to be too big of a deal. I want to watch this Baker Hughes oil rig count and stuff like that too. I want to start paying attention to oil and natural gas data, because that's one other stock that I have. I have two. Haven't really mentioned yet, but that one I'm going to be watching, because I think we're going to get natural gas and oil. I just feel like, we might get some upside, or we might get some down. Like, I just feel like we might start getting some movement there. Okay, I feel like we might start getting some movement, and I want to say it's up to the upside. Again, we're going to go over the charts and whatnot. We're going to give you guys some ideas. You have Kansas Fed composite and stuff. So we have existing home sales, consumer or countless jobless claims here at 8:30. Chicago Fed National Activity Index. So we have some data you guys need to watch out for. Now, this is going to be Thursday for the initial jobless claims that we get. You're going to want to watch them, because they've been on the rise. Slowly but surely, they've been on the rise. But yeah, so we have PMI, we have Powell, we have the employment data, we have some other Fed speaking, and Baker Hughes. So let's get over to the charts. Where's the ES? So we are trading slightly down, guys. We are trading slightly down. I'm kind of curious if we take this back. All right, I'm kind of curious if we take it back and then, make some of, like, turn this area down right here. This 440.65 on the ES resistance. I want to see that. So we got a lot we're going to get into. FedEx earnings. I have some stocks on the watch list I want to show you guys. What else? So we were actually really early on transportations, guys. Now, if you guys are new, I was going to say, if my camera froze again, I'm going to be hot. So we were early on this transportation data, guys. Not data, but these stocks to the long side. Just look at Ford. Okay, just look at Ford. Now, let me go to the daily. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry about that. We called this out early, gang. Nice double bottom here, this base. You had a really nice pennant here. We have the longer term upside pennant. But I want to see if we start, it looks like we might turn this thing around. So what we like to do is here. All right, we went over the data. So what we want to do is we want to go over all the indexes. What's up, my guy? I hope you had a great weekend, bro. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, man. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's time to get busy. It's time to get to work. It's still going to be a good week. Now, as much as I wanted to say, and I'm going to get back to what I was saying, as much as I wanted to say that the overall indexes probably won't really do too much, but maybe put in a base, that's my second thought. But my other thought is we could still get some movement, because what you'll notice, guys, is when you get this huge run in either direction, up or down, it usually has to take a breather, and it's got to take a rest. And it's just really hard for the markets to just continue in such a manner. So sometimes you'll get a base. Give me 1 second. I'm not going anywhere. I want to draw something out for you guys, because this is something I want to relate on, or I wanted to mention to you guys. So what happens is, is, before I forget, okay, this, hold on. I got two things. Don't let me forget about this. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. Whenever you guys have a, whatever this is, month and a half base. Now, I want to stress this to you guys so you guys can take this with you, you know, and you'll know when you see this, you guys are going to know whether, like, you guys are going to know. All right, you guys are going to have a decision already made for when it starts to happen. All right, where are we at here? This is the first day. April 3rd to sorry, I was just trying to blank May. I was about to say March. It's all good. So May. All right. April to May. We literally sat here. Okay? And you know, you got your nice little double bottom here, but it still sat here, guys. Whenever you guys have a range, I don't care if it's for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, the longer it is, I will tell you this, the longer the overall markets don't move, okay, and they put in a range like this, guys, expect a move in either direction, okay, but expect a move and just know the bigger, dude, sorry, the bigger the longer, I should say, the longer the consolidation. Why is there two? The longer the consolidation. Okay, now it came back in the test, so I'm just going to put the box right there. The longer the consolidation, the longer the move, guys. Okay, remember this. So as we're just trotting along here and not going up, and we're not going down, like one of them's got to give. And you put in a month, guys. I knew that this was going to happen. The direction I didn't know if there was going to be news or something show up. Didn't know, but I did know that there was going to be a move into a direction, and I was going to take it, and it was more than likely going to carry us for about 2 weeks. All right, and we're probably about there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, guys. Isn't that funny how it was 2 weeks? All right, I didn't just sit here and count it before the live stream. I promise. Okay? And that was also from the breakout and the retest is also why I started here, because it retested this pennant I had drawn. And I told myself if we got the retest, I was going to be long. And sure enough, I was too busy watching other stocks. I kind of missed that one, but it's okay. You're not going to catch them all. You know, it's like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. But sometimes they're just, you're going to miss them. And it's hard. You get a candle like this. You get a little pullback. Yeah, I could have bought it here, but, you know, I didn't. So it is what it is. I missed it. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'll get it on the next one. So we want to see if see what happens with the indexes. But Powell's, we have Powell and stuff, and if he ends up saying something, the markets will and can move. Does he try to talk this market down? We're going to get into that. We're going to get all that into that in the end. But what we need to do is we need to take all 5 indexes and look at them closely, and it tells you the story. Now we can start with the Dow. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so the Dow. This is a nice chart pattern, guys. Now, the markets may pull back next week. I'm not sure. Let me take a drink real quick. Sorry, guys. That was good. It's kind of hot. I didn't really... I ran out of milk on the last cup before there. So, guys, look. Let's look at the Dow. We're going to go into the Qs. All right, and we're going to see what's going on. All right, obviously the markets were moving to the upside. Okay, the Dow still, I'm not going to say has underperformed, but it has obviously not put in, the same move as the Qs and the SPY, and obviously not the Nasdaq. It's not going to. It's not how the Dow works. So you guys want to do this stuff. You want to go to ARK, you want to go to SPY, and you want to see, excuse me, what is going, like, what are the footprints of the institutions? Okay, we have a nice long rally, so rally money's getting put to work. So as I go through this, I want to tell you guys something. So you're going to hear all this stuff. You're going to hear people say AI. They're going to hear people said AI is what brought the market up. Well, if AI brought the market up, why is ARK still down here? Why is ARK still down here? And again, if you guys have any questions, tickers, or anything, put them in the chat. Let's see, any stock that you this undervalued my Palantir. I wish you the best of luck on Palantir. Oh, Palantir, man, I started to think of Peloton for some reason. I'm not sure why I thought of Peloton for some reason. Dude, I love Palantir, bro, and I'm going to tell you, I thought Palantir was so undervalued just because if you listen to, what's his name, speak, he does a lot of, he shows up in a lot of random places, whether it's CNBC, Bloomberg, just online. I think his name is, I know his name, and I do not want to get it wrong. But they have, from what I have gathered, I have taken, I think it's Alex Karp. I knew it. I didn't want to be wrong. I knew it. I had a feeling it was Alex Karp. I just didn't want to be, wrong. So, bro, yes, I love it. Now, should you be buying it here? I wouldn't be. I would not be buying it here. It can still grind higher. It can grind higher without me. Okay. So there's something that I look for. Okay. There's something I look for. Yes, it's on its lows. Okay. It's probably on its lows for a reason, but look at your daily RSI, way overextended. MACD, getting overextended itself. I mean, Palantir is a great stock. Now, if it's long term, you're not going to touch it. I would just, I would just shut up and buy. That's a book, by the way. So what I want to see Palantir do is I want to see Palantir put in a pullback, and I want to be a buyer in pullbacks. And it doesn't, at least for me, you guys manage your own capital the way you want to. Again, like I stated in the beginning, what I do may not work for you. You want to have a stop loss, and you need to know where your stop loss should be. All right. You need to know already, if you buy it and you get a pullback, where are you going to be out to say that, all right, it's not time to be bought yet. Okay, because what happens if the market tanks and, oh no, I'm on ARK. I'm so sorry. The market tanks and you are, because I was actually just looking at ARK and I'm like, I'll get back to that. So where is your stop loss going to be? That's my first question to you. All right, where's your stop loss going to be? All right, second, why are you buying it? Don't buy the highs. This is what happens. People go in and buy, and then it just shits the bed. You get handed the bag. All right, but it's long term. I think you're in good hands. I really do. So this is what we want to look for. Look at this. Look at prior. All right, let's look at before the rally happened. Okay, before the rally happened. Damn it. It's not going to let me do it because the stock's fairly new. So what do we have here? We have a downtrend, and we start putting in a base where it flattens out, right? Now let me, does it give me fib fans? Yes, it does. Sweet. Now I could do it from here is where it really started. Okay. From here. I gotta go to the lows. It's the only way it makes sense. And it still may not make sense here. Okay. It has broken out of the fibs. Let me do, is this one? See, I think this is a misprint. See, in October it's still made. Look at this volume. You got some volume behind you. You got some sellers up here. You have to listen to their earnings calls. Like anything, you don't have to do anything. Let me rephrase that. So you're up and out of your fib fan. That's the first step. You've actually blown out of it. There was no like. Usually you'll see this in stages, okay? But it's a little different because everything is rallied. And I need to change the colors on these. I should have it. I should have the background as white. Maybe might help. I just don't like all these red lines and shit. I do like that something's there to tell me the month. So what I'm trying to say is where's your stop going to be? Okay, even if it's a long-term hold, you could still like don't be like just look at Intel. Okay, you can be sitting on a stock for years, man. It could happen. Look at this. Anybody who bought back here and just thought buying stocks and holding was a good idea, it's not. Now, maybe it is for you. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own thoughts, okay? Buying and holding is not a strategic plan to increase your net worth. It's not. Okay? It's not. I bought Moderna. My average Moderna price was $18. I was buying it below $18. I think the last time I was buying it was around $25, guys. The stock went to 500 and some. Big hit. Guess what? I took profits. You best believe. Did I take profits at the top? Nope. All right. Nope. But I still took it, and it got to a point where I had to take the position off. I had to make it mine. Okay? And look where it's at now. I could probably pull it up, and I'm sure it's nowhere near where we want it to be. Or where I thought it would be. You know, the Moderna's still trying to hide. So all I would say, though, is where's your stop loss? Where's your stop loss? That's my first question. I would wait for... I just don't like the chart pattern. It's not bad. Like, if you get a pullback, then yeah, I'm with it. I'm just saying I'm buying I would like to buy pullbacks. I would have my stop loss. But the thing is, I would have trouble getting into it because... You know, these are the places you want to be buying. You had a downtrend, it put in a base. It put in a lower low, all right? Look at the MACD back here on this low. You put in a new low, your MACD is higher, all right? Look at the RSI. This is, when nobody wants it, is where you need to be buying it. And I'm going to give you an example of like gold and like natural gas and stuff, like which is one thing that I'm like kind of looking at. You know, when you put in this base and you get a nice rip and rally, okay? Earnings come out, you had a nice little gap out, but it sold off. Now, this is just going up because of AI? I don't know. Possibly, okay? But I think Palantir has a lot to offer militarily, and I think this company is early. Not early, but it's, you know, it just IPO'd a couple years ago, okay? I would have liked to have seen this put in a base and kind of like, you know, kind of did this. What it's doing here. It put in a higher low. It shaked them out. It rose, broke through the 200-day, you know, was resistance, held the 150-day. It's above all your major moving averages. Now you just have to like wait to see where the pullbacks are. Okay, you got to see where it pulls back and starts to like, let's say even if it continues to rally, you want this thing to put in a base. It's got to put in a base first to give you the strength and the rip to the upside. If this thing just keeps going, it's just nobody's going to want it. Okay, that's why you want to wait for a base. You want to wait for something that just like if it starts tomorrow, okay? You want to just let it put in a base, maybe it moves higher and maybe it just, you know, and then you get the shakeout, you know, you get the shakeout, okay? And then you put in the higher low, boom. And then it's off to, you know, the races. You wait for the resistance, and then, do you know what I mean? So you kind of want to wait for the base. And as you get on, you'll start learning about them. This thing is just taken off of lows. This thing has not put in a base, hasn't done anything of the such. You kind of had it here, but this was, oh, this is Intel. Why am I on Intel, man? Fuck, I thought I was on Palantir. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Anyway, if this was Palantir, this is kind of what you would want to see. Alright, even though it's not. I cannot believe I just did that. Wow. I'm only human, guys. Again, I'm only human. So, yeah, that's that. I can't believe I did that. I'm sorry. There's just a lot going on. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's very easy to do. Alright. So, I want to go into, so look, guys, let's talk about something. So, we have the major moving it. We have all the major, like, all of the majority of equities are moving up. Whether S&P, Dow, Qs, pretty much everything other than, like, small caps, ARK. You know, I think I just looked at ARK for a second, and it didn't seem as though it was, like, budging. So, if ARK, because ARK should be a, yeah, see, like I said, it's kind of like Intel. Sorry, hold on. That was crazy. That was crazy. Too much in the washer. The washer just went nuts. I was like, that's what happens when you put too much stuff in there. So, anyway, Palantir again, man. Wait for this thing to put in a base. Let it pull back because I promise it will. Alright, I promise it will. So, again, look down here where I had, look at my buy signal and I forgot about it. Guys, there's one thing that I hate. I will go through charts and I will literally forget about them. I will literally forget about them. Just like here, look at this. Look at the plan. The plan was there's resistance, it gapped up. I wanted to be a buyer of the pullback. Look at that. Isn't that hilarious? Looking back at my prior like signals and what I'm telling myself. It's crazy. All right. So, sorry, I was just telling my girl. All right. Again, man, look for pullbacks, bro. Sorry about that. So, what do we have? What do we have going on right now, guys? What's the leading macro environment that's going to how should I say this? What's going to keep us going up? What's going to keep us what's going to push us back to the downside? One thing I know for a fact is if we start getting higher unemployment and we start getting unemployment numbers start to go onto a rise, you're going to start hearing talks about a recession. And you'll have to look at past, live streams. We've been saying we want to, my guess, okay, my guess, if we get one, probably won't be until Q1, Q2. Leaning a little bit more Q2, but I'm going to say Q1, Q2 of next year, which is quarter 1 and quarter 2 of next year, which is January, February, March, April, May, and June. Okay. I think if we get the recession, it may be around then. Now, we don't know what's to come in the future. We don't know. Maybe it takes longer. Maybe it doesn't take that long. I don't know. All right. But I am seeing signs that, we may get there a little bit quicker than I thought. So, the consumer has held up. Okay, there's been the labor market is tight, guys. All right, so the labor market's tight, and that means people are working, so people have money. Okay, they say there's a lot of jobs out there. There's 3 jobs to every person, or 2 jobs for every person. I guess I'm not sure. I just know there's something crazy like that, and whether it's true or not, that's to be debated. Now, so the past couple years we've had monetary stimulus, physical or monetary policy, physical policy. We've had checks given out to people. We've had the Fed buying securities. Okay. You also had $300 checks were given out to, depending on if you had kids or not, at least from what in my area or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's what, the Biden administration put in place. You also had student loan forgiveness or something of that nature where they start having to pull back. You just got HD earnings, Home Depot earnings a little while ago, and they were awful. Now, if we go to HD, okay, if we go to Home Depot, why is it Home Depot is here, okay, and then let's go to Lowe's. Which is not doing so bad. Okay, Lowe's isn't doing as bad. Okay. Lowe's isn't doing as bad. I mean, look at that sell-off, guys. That's not nearly as bad as Lowe's. So, what's going to happen, guys? So, the consumer, what I'm trying to say is the consumer has lasted they've been pretty damn resilient, right? When does this start to give? Because you've had a lot of policies that were put in place that enabled an environment where if something were to happen, the data is going to show that the consumer was holding up. Okay, what happens if these people got car loans or went and bought a new house? And I'm not going to say that whether they made a decision or not, but chances are when they go to the bank and everything, they're going to include that payment. So that's not too much to worry about, but let's just say rent. If they go get an apartment or do something, that might not, that they might not have, factored that in, and they may not have had to have that factored in, as the apartment people may have not checked up on things like that. The person maybe was just like, hey, I got a job, I'm doing good, or whatever. I have so much money left over because I don't have to pay my student loans, blah blah blah. I have a kid. I get an extra $300. Okay, and I'm sure it still evens out to where the kid makes up that much, but still, this stuff was given out. Now, what is going to happen? We've come to the end on that, guys. We're coming to the end of stimulus. Now, what do we start to see? Okay, what are we going to start seeing now? Okay, what are we going to see which this is why I think Powell and them paused. Now let me get into what I was saying earlier that I almost forgot. Everyone is saying this market is led because of AI. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I disagree. Yes, it has been technology stocks. Okay, it has been some technology stocks. Okay, but I have a lot of stocks that I'm looking at that aren't technology that I feel like that could make a run. Okay. So, I feel like, okay, I thought it was going to do that. It's off. What I'm getting at, guys, is I think we start to see the numbers, and this is why Powell paused. Okay. Now, with me saying this, I'm in the camp, does the market believe Powell or not? I'm going to have to say, I think with everything that I just mentioned about people and their finances, okay, a lot of the stimulus that was given, I'm really curious if the Fed doesn't do it, because now that the Fed knows that these stimuluses that were helping people and kind of putting them above their means starts to take an effect, okay? Now, I said at the Fed meeting and stuff, I think we get it. And, now going over it and thinking about everything. And listen, I'm human, and the Fed is also human too. there is a part of them where, you know, they could feel one way one day and then feel another day. Okay, that's sentiment, and that is the definition of sentiment. Okay, so I think a lot of that stuff is going to help the Fed. You also have banks. Okay, banks are tightening up. When you have short-term interest rates, okay, where they are in the longer-term duration is not, you know, we have an inverted yield curve right now. So if the banks borrow on short-term rates and lend long-term, that means that they're not getting their money that they're lending out because the short-term rates are higher than long-term rates. So if let's just say if you asked me for a loan and I wanted to give you guys a loan for 20, 30 years, okay, I'd have to go see what the rates are. I'm just going to say they're at 3%. We're just going to put out a number, 3%. But the 2 years right now is at 4.85. That's -1. So I'm losing, you know, depending on credit. You know, obviously you're going to add a few there, but just on the basis of an inverted yield curve, technically, if we didn't have an inverted yield curve right now, banks would be doing great. And banks should be able to thrive in an environment like this because rates aren't like high. Yeah, they've risen, but they're not at that like 7, 8, 9, 10 level. I'm going to say 8 to 10 level. Okay, so they're still like, you know, it's kind of pushing it, but it's not, you know, we've lived in this kind of cycle for a long time now. And that's all I really wanted to just mention because now I'm starting to think about it all. So we're going to see how the consumer holds up for the second half of the year is what I'm getting at. Let's see what the data starts to look like in August, September, October, November, and as we get going into the end of the year, because there's a lot of things that were accounted for that there was a lot of data that we got, which included a lot of the stimulus, you know, the loan forgiveness. Okay, you still have overnight repos, you still have a lot of this other stuff. So what's going to happen then? Because what happens is as the S&Ps continue to climb higher, you're doing it like, where's the growth is what I'm getting at. Where's the growth? Because you're paying a higher multiple, okay, to make, you know, we're paying technically if you want to be real, earnings are higher than here and we're down here. So but what is forward looking, guys? Where is the expansion? Where's the growth going to come from? I'm just curious. I'm asking you to ask yourself, where's the growth going to come from? Okay, so if we know that the environment is not the same as it was back here, okay? The environment is not the same as it was back here, whether it's all-time highs or in the middle, wherever. I don't care where it is. But I'm stating the fact that if the consumer is probably going to be worse off than they were this last 6 months and the year before, what's it going to take for this market to pull back around? Okay? It's probably going to be earnings, number one, and then unemployment, number two. Because once you start getting this recession type of fear, you're going to have things like REITs start to get hit, okay? You're going to have, okay, people like to go out and do things. There's a lot of things that people do when they have jobs and they have money that's freed up. If they don't have that anymore, you're going to see a hit taken on spending at like Texas Roadhouse. At there's like golfing places that, you know, that there are REITs that have, you know, like whether it's movies, golfing places, and all kinds of stuff. You guys know. So what does that mean? You know, what does that mean for them going forward? So we're going to be paying for a contraction once we start getting up here, okay? I think this gets me into the market. Why have we ran? I think the market has ran because I think looking at the data, they know that they have some time before the recession talk comes and the earnings talk comes about declining earnings. Ultimately, that's what we could face. Now, I don't know if I'm right. We're going to see. If the labor market holds up, okay. But if the labor market holds up, and people aren't getting raises and doing things like that would, contribute to growth, then you're going to be paying a higher price for a contraction, not growth, not an expansion, I should say. You're paying more for a contraction than an expansion. So I think money managers know that they have a little bit of time before the next possible downturn. Okay, now what does the Fed do? Do they just stay here? And do we start putting in a base? Because I'm going to tell you right now, July's meeting is going to tell. Powell said they just laid out. We started at 75, we went to 50, we went to 25, and pretty much in order for us to get out of this 25, we're going to space it out. Okay. Now, doing that and knowing the effects of policy, can they do that? Can they physically go up and do that? Again, the labor market's still as tight as it's ever been in a long time. So that's probably one reason that would help them, do that. Or, again, I kind of rewatched a little bit of it. Do they take the pause? Because they know that not only is the data backward looking, there is a time lapse to this stuff. They just went from 0 to 5, practically 0 to 5, 0.25 to 5% in a year, in just over a year. The lag effect, that's what I was looking for. I just want you guys to think about that. As we keep creeping up, or if we put in a base, I think the S&Ps kind of just stay sideways a little bit. It's going to be hard for them to just continue on this run. Again, it just, once you get an move like this, it's, the market just can't keep making explosive moves. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can. But if we don't have an event to move, maybe we have a light day tomorrow and Powell comes out, and depending on how that goes. Now, it's going to depend on if they ask the right questions, and if they just don't do the politic pandering that they do. If you guys have ever watched any of this stuff, then you should know that if you voted for those type of people, or for those people that are in office, you need to not be voting. I'm just going to tell it to you straight, okay? Because what you're going to see is, like we do every other meeting, every other time they have stuff like this, all you're going to hear them say, and they need to be asking Powell, and they need to be working. They need to be coming up with ways that they can, kind of, cool things down a little bit and not make it as bad on people. You're not going to get that. They're not going to be working. They're going to be talking about, look what we did versus Trump, this and that. It is all going to be political theater, and it's sad because they have Jerome Powell there for a reason, and they need to be asking him real solid questions. Like, they will to an extent, but they will also do so much politicizing this Republican Democrat thing, and it's bullshit. It's such bullshit, guys. And if you have voted and you've never watched any of this stuff, you really need to, because you'll see the type of shit that goes on in Washington. Seriously, it's so sad, because they don't worry about what they should be worried about and what they got hired to do. All right, just watch, guys. Seriously, just watch. So I'm wondering, I don't know if, because I don't know if you're gonna get the banking committee first, if you're gonna get the House and then the Senate, or how it's gonna be. I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna get into some stocks and some watch lists, guys. So we know AI's been going nuts. Let's look at AI, AMD. I have some other stocks that I want to look into in the transportation space, which is all going to come down to FedEx earnings too, on how that move continues. I kind of want to just look at the chart, because I didn't really, it's going to be telling to see if we get through that level or not. I have to use the restroom. Just give me 1 minute. All right, guys. Sorry about that again. So let's get into some stocks, guys. So we have FedEx earnings. Okay, FedEx is above all its major moving averages. Um, it's a major component of transportations. Okay, FedEx is, you know, it is transportation in and of itself. All right, they fly around, they move products from place to place. They're a shipping company. You know, planes, cars, all that good stuff. They move goods. So let's start with the big one. Let's go to AMD. Everybody's talking about AMD. You guys already know above all major moving averages, it's actually pulling back. All right, there could be a few reasons why. Now, AI had their or AMD had their whatchamacallit last week, and the stock kind of sold off. You know, buy the rumor, sell the news. It was the investor tech. It was like I forget what it was. I think we actually played it here. You know, if you guys join us live, we're live Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I want to see. So again, AMD's. It tried to break out. You see how it tried to break out here on the daily, and it couldn't. On what? An increase in volume. On an increase in volume, guys. That's so important. So let's go in. Let's do some digging, because I haven't really dug in this much because I just haven't been playing them. I've played some other ones. I just don't know. Like, if I'm going to play AMD, I want it on a day when it's going to give me this. I want like a big momentum type of day. This might have been a good day. You know. That was a good day there, but something like this, you know, it's getting back to this area. I don't know. I don't see that much more upside in AMD. It's going to have to put in a base and hold this prices. All right. And I'm kind of curious what happens next to earnings with these runs if they stay up here. If the stocks are still able to stay up here and earnings come in and they disappoint, especially for Nvidia, then you could have a problem here, you know. I was looking for AI space. I'm still looking at Unity. I have a couple of them written down here. I have more, and I can go over them in the morning. I was still doing some work. I didn't get a chance to do as much work over the weekend as I wanted to. But Unity still looks like a stock that it still looks good. Do you see? Like, this is what I mean by, you know, you have your nice downtrend, and then what happens? You put in a base, shake them out, and then what happens? Boom, onto the races. This is a chart pattern I like. And what's it doing now? All right, even I could say it put in a pennant there, but I'm not gonna. So this is actually what I'm looking at for Unity. I expect a pullback, but I want to see if it can hold this 39.55 area. I'm going to go down to the 15-minute chart. Let's take this off first. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some stocks. And if you guys have any tickers you guys want me to put in the chat, throw them in the chat. It did a good job of holding Wednesday's price action. Look at that. It held Wednesday's highs. So if you decide to go long, you want to see where the market's at tomorrow. All right, you want to see if the Qs are up or down. Let's say the Qs and the SPY pull back, and Unity is still sitting up here. That's relative strength. So you want to that's a stock you're going to want to look at to be long if you're going to back it up with the short if the markets are going to give us a pullback. Okay, it's important to know these kind of things because it'll give you opportunities to hedge yourself and catch two winning trades. Or if things go south, you're cutting the loser and you're letting the winner ride. All right. So that's what I'm looking at for Unity. I want to see if this level holds, and if it doesn't, where is the final place I'm looking to buy it at? Could be down here. Could be down here at 37. There is this pivot high. This is all pre-market though. You see this double bottom? Pre-market. Well, this pivot high was during the market. So These are your levels for Unity, guys. This is clean setup. Like, this is as good as it gets, especially if you're new to trading. This is the kind of stuff you want to look at. Like, this gives you your risk to reward, like your stop loss if it's down here. Depends on where we open up tomorrow. If you open up below here, then you want to look to see, 39.55. What's it do? Does it take a bounce and, try to turn this 42 into resistance? Okay. I should also draw it out to kind of like help with what I'm explaining. If you wake up tomorrow and we gap down, we get a gap down and it pulls back to test that level and you get a bounce, or does it if you don't, if it tests this and then you wait for the move higher, boom, and then it regains it and takes out this high. I do not have any levels right now, but I will in the morning about where are my targets, because obviously I want to see if this holds. If this 42, again, it's 42.11, 42 flat, we'll call it. You could even say 42.25. You could even say 42.25. So if this 42 holds, then my next obvious target is going to be Friday's high. And then, in the morning I'll have it from there. But Unity is one I have on watch. All right. Marvell is going to be another one. All right, and I don't think too many people have, they've kind of forgotten about that stock, but it's putting in the same kind of pattern as Unity. Okay. Worst case, it pulls all the way back here, guys, where I told you this it'll pull back into this 37.90, or it just slowly sells off again. Now you do kind of see what I do like about it is, like, look at the RSI, guys. It's still up at new highs in the RSI on the 15 minutes down here at 43. That is the 15 minutes. Let's go look at the daily. Let's really go look into this. So it's way overextended, guys. It's at 78. Call it 80. All right, so that's not good. So we want to pull back. We want to wait for a pullback, see if it can hang on to 35. We'll see what happens there. See what happens when it meets with trade line. See what happens when it meets with the trade line. So what else do we have? AI was a stock that we've been playing. So this might set up for a short opportunity. Okay, it might set up for a short opportunity. You got to remember this stock has a tremendous short amount of short float on this thing is pretty big. All right, I think it's like 30%, if not more. And when you start getting to those levels on a stock like this, man, things can really get going in a hurry. So you have to watch. It's doing a good job of holding. I mean, C3AI C3AI is ChatGPT, right? I think. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, we want to wait for this pullback. You want to watch 41.52. Now we played it last week. I've played this thing like 3, 4, 5 different times. A couple months ago, 2 weeks ago, last week, so on and so forth. So Friday we tried to extend the new highs and failed. We played it Thursday. Thursday was the day that I had it on my watch list. Again, I said last night or whatever that I couldn't remember what it was that why I didn't get it. But I was watching The Spy in the morning for some reason. I don't know why, guys. So in the morning I was watching The Spy, and I was looking for, direction in The Spy, and it obviously went to the upside, and I missed my entry. Okay, it happens. I got upset. It's not that I got upset, but it just, after missing my entry there on just knowing the type of day and momentum day that we could have had, it kind of messed me up. And then I went over to AI, and then it just kind of took off on me when I was like going through my not necessarily checklist, but as I was like feeling the stock out, it just went on me, and it is what it is. It's going to happen. It did do a good job of holding this area, but I don't know if that's going to mean anything, guys. I really don't. I just think this thing has had a nice run, and if traders decide to leave and there's no buyers, watch out below. Okay, you're already putting in new highs with the lower RSI. All right, a lower high RSI. So, INTC, Intel. I'm just trying to cover some of these stocks real quick. I'm going to have a full list on the day tomorrow, because again, we can wake up tomorrow and we don't know what kind of news we're going to have on individual plays. So for now, I'm going to have some AI stocks. What I want to do is I want to be long the strong ones and weak the weak ones. It doesn't necessarily mean AI, but I know Google. I've been waiting for Google. Okay, Google's been putting in a base here. All right, Google's been putting in a nice base. It's not as overbought as the other ones, okay? It's tried to make high. It's just been sitting here. So what did I just say about the SPY? I told you guys, when you see a stock, or I should say the index, now it happens on indexes. Will it happen here? We'll have to wait and see. Okay? I want to say the move might be to the downside, but even that, I don't know. All right, let me see here. Let's figure this out together. MACD. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me zoom in. I mean, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is like, so, but Google is a big tech company. All right. You have a nice, see, the shoulders are higher than the head here. So, Google's not at all-time highs, if as far as if it's going to be considered an AI stock. It's not at all-time highs, guys. I want to see, I just want to wait and see what happens. My initial thought is this thing gets, we have some downside to it. You had a big day. I have to check on news. I haven't really been checking up on Google. But what's the first thing we take notice in? We take notice in the volume. Look at that sell-off. Look at the volume, okay? That's the first thing we look for. So we have volume. Now, where is our levels? So here's what I'm getting at too, though, is, well, you finally did break the 9 EMA. So let's take that into consideration. We broke the 9 EMA. So where are we going to, if we think this stock is going to go down, where is it that we want to be shorting? Where do we want to short? We would probably look to short right around here at this 124.35, 124.50. Okay. So we have a nice long range here that it could not extend out. That's telling you everything you need to know. If it is not extending higher and it puts in a pattern where it wants to extend higher and can't, and it sells off on an increase in volume, then downside we go. Now you might want to swing this. Okay, you do kind of have a head and shoulders pattern building here. I'm going to look to be short Google. Okay, it made a nice move Friday, so I don't know if it's going to be time yet. All right, I don't know if it's time. You could get a continuation, maybe, maybe we have a gap down or it sells off before the bell, and then people come in to buy the dip and then short the bounce. I would be looking to short the bounce on Google. Okay, I want to zoom into the hourly chart here, and kind of like take it down a notch. Like, look at this volume, guys. It's huge. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So, and that's the last. That was the last 4 hours of the day, roughly. This is going to be a key area here. If you gap below this 123 level, if we gap below this 123, let me see here. Again, like I said, I haven't had time to do much work, so I'm going to sit on, I might just stay on here and go through charts. So let's see here. Sorry, guys. I was just looking at something. Give me 1 minute. So, sorry about that. I want to look at this Google level here at it's just been building this base here. You got to watch 123, 30, 40. All right, if we go to the daily back again. Sorry guys, I was just looking at something. We got to see. Listen, the longer Google puts in this base though, you got to watch out for the upside. Got to watch out for the upside. CBNA is another one that's been on the watch list. It's been in the it's just had news. If you don't know, they've raised guidance. Okay, and I don't know if how the market this has had a nice uptrend. You had a gap above the 100-day and 50-day. You probably can't see it, it's too small. So I'll pan it out for you. Gap above the 100-day, gap above the 50, gap and go. Excuse me, gap and go. You just broke right through the 100-day or 200-day and didn't even retest it, guys. It's pretty nuts. So, what happens with Carvana? It looks like it's putting in a bearish signal, though. Putting in a bearish signal, it looks like. Doesn't mean it has to do it anytime soon. Okay? The stocks can just kind of have their own minds. But look at this. That, my friends, is a it is a rising wedge, and that's usually a bearish pattern, okay? It's kind of small in of itself. You kind of want to see it like it might be too soon for that. Again, it's only put in like a week's worth, and this is Carvana, right? Carvana, I'm going to be watching. Okay, Carvana, I'm going to be watching for a few reasons. Okay? It has a rising wedge here, okay? Other than this rising wedge, let me go back to the daily. All right, I'm going to show you guys something. I want to see. I have way too many lines on this chart that I shouldn't have. Okay, I have way too many lines on here. Jesus Christ, I fucking hate. Excuse my language, but I hate logarithmic. I hate these. I hate when it does this shit. Like, I don't want you to just stay. Like, sometimes you have to pan it out to be able to see it, but you also want to see to the left. It doesn't. It shouldn't just move. Like if I look, guys, if I put it on automatic, it moves, and I can't move the thing up or down. Like, this is ridiculous. This is 2023. They've made all this shit, and you're telling me you can't make a chart? Like, why is it going up when I go up? Like, come on, man. All I want to do is look. Stop moving. Sorry to yell in the mic. Like, stop moving. You see why it's frustrating sometimes? Like, all I want to do is get this thing to... I might just go to TC2000, honestly. All I want to do is pan this out. Right there. And it don't... And look, it'll probably even move if I go left or right. So, I just flipping hate it. I want to watch this rising wedge on Carvana, guys. I think it's going to be... I thought I seen something else with it, but I'm going to have to recheck that. Okay? But look at this rising wedge here. Let me make it bigger. Fuck it. I know it's going to act like an idiot. I know it is. Alright, this is a rising wedge if I've ever seen one. It's only been there for a few days, so don't think the stock's gotta go down right now, but I think we need to see some volume step in here. I think we need to see it needs volume. Dude, this is nuts. Do you guys see how frustrating this is? You did also have a nice wedge here. Look at this. You had a really nice wedge for the breakout. I just wonder if it's overextended. I mean, it looked a little different when I looked at it back there, but you know, you can kind of see what I was looking at. You know, there's your wedge. It gapped up, tested it, boom, and was on to the races. So, I just want to keep these on watch because unless, again, we could get news on anything tomorrow. Let's look at the China stocks. Let's look at gold. So I want to look at, guys, Bitcoin, natural gas, oil. Those are the ones that I'm going to be kind of concentrated on. I am going to want to see with, with this trip to China, how, if everything goes well. Now, we've already had TSM on the watch list. Okay, it's put in some pretty nice patterns here. So, look at this. So we have a break and retest. It looks as though it's broken it. Okay, it looks like it's broken. We can give it a little more room. You know, we can give it down here to this 104 level. Let me pull up the daily one more time. All right. I want you guys to put TSM on your watch list. So there's the daily. I mean, technically it does have to 103.75. 103.75. So we're going to see what this means for semiconductors. I'm looking at Intel also. I'm looking at pretty much all of them, all the semiconductors, and I want to see which ones have relative strength and relative weakness. Okay, because I want to be. Let's say if we have a bad day in semiconductors, then I know if I have a bad day in semiconductors, I can just go over to the semiconductors and take whatever's the weakest, and then put a short up against the long on a sector that's long. So I have some. I do have a list here, guys. So I have Boeing on the list. Tomorrow, I think, is when I'm going to make the change to this live stream because I feel like I've already went on. I haven't got nothing accomplished. It's just really hard. Again, guys, I'm new, so I do apologize. There's a lot of stuff that I want to work on here. Let me take this level. Let me take the because we don't need level 2 right now. We don't need level 2. Got rid of that. So Boeing is part of transportation, guys. We called this out about 2-3 weeks ago. All right, transportation sector was looking fabulous. If you don't know what the transportation sector is, no. Sorry. Yeah, it should be. Dude, what the hell is going on here? Guys, I don't know why I can't. Now, look at it. It's trying to give me. Oh, I wasn't. I just didn't put the dollar sign in front of it. Are you kidding me? I need to find out what the transports are. Not like what they are, but what the ticker is for this. Alright, so it's starting to have a down day. I wonder if it's going to put in another pennant here for a minute. So, the transports are pretty important because it's an indicator of what happens, like, economically, macro, whatever you want to call it. It gives you an idea on, it could give you an idea, like, look at this, reverse head and shoulder, boom. But it's putting in a really nice pennant. It's putting in a really nice pennant. I showed you guys this before, which is why we were a buyer in there. Like, look at that, okay? It doesn't get much better than that, guys. It really doesn't. Doesn't get much better than that, okay? So what this does, it gives you an idea when the transports are doing well. It gives you how should I say this? It gives you an idea on how well the economy is. Like, it could give you an idea of velocity. Okay, if money's moving around the system a lot, what does that mean? People are buying things. Okay, if people are buying things, the velocity of money is changing hands and it's moving at a rate, okay, that's pretty quick. And that means transportation should technically do pretty well, because that means people are buying goods. If people are buying goods, goods are getting moved from the manufacturer to the store, and then from the store to the person. Again, transportations. Now, we have called out Ford. We've been on, we've been on this transportation move because we've seen it when it put in this double bottom here, guys. It was on watch. This is what we like right here. You see how we had the downtrend? Okay, we had this downtrend. And then what's it do? It puts in a base. You get a nice rally to start it, and you get the slow sell off, okay? Slow sell off, and then it's like it comes to this point here where it's like, are we going to sell off or are we going to rally? All right. It's a beautiful chart. It's a beautiful chart. All right. It's really nice. Always keep your eyes on transports because they're an indicator. They will help you dictate what the market could possibly do. Again, guys, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. we're live. I have so much work to do. Just not only for looking for plays tomorrow, but getting this channel up off the ground and getting started, I could say Rome wasn't built in a day. That is a saying that I kind of, I like to always stick to when I do something new. It's an old saying that I've picked up. Somebody told it to me when I was younger. It was just a saying that I heard, and so it's something I go by. So let's give you guys some ideas. Again, I'm gonna bring up natural gas and oil, because those are some stocks I want to look at. I want to be on them. Okay, look at AT&T, guys. Ticker symbol T. You have a really nice double bottom, and what do? If we can break this level here, this level I have on my screens is $16 to $16.16 roughly. It's like $16.06. Okay, so we'll call it $16. Pays a nice dividend. All right, pays a really fat dividend. Nice double bottom. Does it start to rally? Nobody wants this thing. This thing sold off because Amazon planned on doing their own thing with phones and stuff like that, but I just don't think AT&T and Verizon and them are going anywhere. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Maybe down the road, but not right now. That's going to take time. Okay? That's going to take time. So I want to see if this can break, and if it does break, let's see if we get a trade out of it. See if we get a trade out of it. I'll probably end up just buying the shares there, guys, and pick up the dividend. I want to look at natural gas and oil. So I could bring up USO, XLE. What do we have? We have a nice pennant being put in here. Okay, we have a nice pennant being put in. Let me go to the daily chart as a matter of fact first. Okay, look at this just long downtrend. It needs to put in. See how it's just starting to kind of angle itself a little bit. Maybe it sells back off and just continues to the downside, but that's something we'll have to wait and see. Okay. I think there was some news with Turkey and I don't know if it was Iraq, but they have a pipeline. Now I had it up on my I had it up here, and it's not. I must have. It didn't. What happened was when I restarted it, it didn't restore when I was trying to get it to restore what I had up. So XLE is going to be on my watch list. Okay, it's going to be on my watch list. Now I'm trying to find and put myself in the best patterns. The other one, guys, I want to be long Bitcoin stocks. So let's go to TradingView real quick and see how it's doing. I want to see how Bitcoin's doing. Alright, so it has rallied. We called this out Friday. It was putting in a nice base. You get what happens. You get the shakeout. Shake them out. Only just a curl. Guys, Bitcoin stocks are going to be on my list tomorrow specifically for it might be a swing trade. Maybe a swing trade. Again, we have Powell. Doesn't mean they have to go up. That's only a 5-minute chart. Look at the 15-minute. Alright, you're coming up on that psychological 2700 level. Psychological 2700 level. Did it already break? Or not break, but did it already reject it? Yeah. But I think she might spin herself back around. You might even be safe into getting it down here at 26 flat. We'll have to wait and see. I want to see where it's at when we open up. I need to see. I haven't used TradingView in a while. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to be watching Bitcoin. All right, I have a list of stocks that look pretty good. I remember uranium. That was another one. There's a lot, man. There is a lot. So let me get to the 15-minute chart, actually. So what I'm going to do is, there's not many people on. I'm going to go through some stuff tonight myself, and we're going to come to the drawing board tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're live. Look at this double bottom. Boom. We got to see if we can break back above here. It couldn't hold this pivot, or not this pivot, but it couldn't hold here. That was a nice sell-off. So let's see. We did also, what I want to point out is we had some nice volume here. Oh, I thought it was green. I'm sorry. We'll have to wait and see. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, it was actually, you know what it was? It was natural gas. That's what it was. Look at that. Look at the breakout, guys. So that is my watch list. And of course we have China stocks. We have biotech, industrials, transportation, technology, and AI. We've pretty much got the market covered to an extent. Okay, that's what you want to have. You want to find the best opportunities that are out there. So if you guys enjoyed your time, thank you guys for sticking around with us. I'm gonna go do some work here on the charts. I will be live tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning. Okay, we're gonna go over a whole game plan. I promise it's gonna be a lot better than this, guys. It's going to be a lot better than this. Okay, thank you guys for joining. If you could, like, share, and subscribe. I have a lot of work to do. So you guys have a good night. Get your sleep. Get ready for this week coming up. It's going to be a big week, guys. Get your butts in chat. All right, IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. Thank you guys for being here. If you could, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this to someone that you think may use this, that could use the information that we have. Thank you guys for joining us. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to make things a little bit better. We're going to strive. That's all we can do. Every day that we have above ground is a good day, but we need to improve. I need to improve. There's something that you can improve on. I'm going to improve on this stream. I'm going to try to improve on my trading. I'm going to try and improve on helping you become a better trader. I want to start getting some people here because I think people could really use a place where they don't have to spend thousands of dollars and just get ripped off, to have a place to go. What broker do I use? What broker do I not use? Nah, I don't use. I'm just going to say this right now. I do not use Webull. Okay, because I would rather not give my information to a communist party. I don't use Robinhood. Okay, my brokers are Interactive Brokers, Lightspeed, and E-Trade. Okay, I do have futures through Thinkorswim and stuff. Like I have, if I wanted to do currency, like Forex currencies futures, I do have Thinkorswim too. So pretty much all of them. You know, not all of them, but you know, I don't have a Charles Schwab. I just have Interactive Brokers because I like them for options. Interactive Brokers, Lightspeed, E-Trade, and Thinkorswim. All right, I don't really use Thinkorswim. Like my Thinkorswim accounts for futures and stuff, but I should actually change that over to either IBK or Lightspeed or something. I don't know. I would just encourage those four. All right, I would encourage those four or five, whatever. I just stick with the American non Robinhood types, guys. Like don't, I would just stay an American. I would just keep your money in America. Just keep your information in America because it's hard to say what the communist country is going to do with your information. It's none of their business. It's none of their business what decisions you make with trading. It's none of their business what kind of money you have in your account. You know, I would prefer you to even like just go in to stay in Robinhood than to go to Webull. That I will say, and I've said this a lot, even with, and I just don't understand how people with like a Webull account, like, okay, you can use it for charting, but what is Webull doing for you that Interactive Brokers can't, that E-Trade can't, that Thinkorswim can't? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised, especially on Interactive Brokers, like your options probably are cheaper there. You know, your executions might be a little bit better. It's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. That's just what I prefer. Again, that's just what I prefer. I like to keep my money in the main brokers, you know. So, I'm going to get off here, guys. I'm going to be on early in the morning. All right, I'm going to have some good ideas. I'm going to not trail off and have a bunch of shit going on. I want to improve on the stream because I'm telling you, I want to get some traders on here that don't have to pay a bunch of money to go trade with a group of people and to learn and all that other stuff. So thanks guys for showing up. Again, what's on the watch list? Bitcoin, like Bitcoin stocks. 1, natural gas and oil. 2, we're going to watch AI. We're going to watch, your Carvanas, like whatever stocks were kind of rising. Maybe there's some opportunities for a pullback, a sell-off. The SPY, we're going to look for, a not so active day tomorrow. We're going to wait for Powell to see if he talks this market down or not. Okay. We're going to look at transportations. Still, again, like I said, we've called out Ford. Okay. We've called out Ford. We've called out all these stocks. Now we want to see what transportation does with FedEx's earnings. Look at this fucking rally, guys. Look at this. This is big. Let's go to the weekly chart. Or even daily chart. You guys understand what call options could have done for you right around here? This is where we called it out on the lows. It built the base, sold off, made a higher low or a lower high, shook them out, bang, and rallied its ass off. So I kind of want to see what it does here in this area. I want to see if it pulls back. It could just continue higher. Could continue higher. It is a little overbought. Your RSI is pretty high. It's up here at 80. If you notice, a lot of stocks are. Overbought. Shit. God damn, I just hit my fucking watch. It's whatever. So, yeah. So we're gonna watch transportations, Bitcoin, guys. Like, so Bitcoin, we have BTBT, we have Bito. Like BTBT, I wanted to play Friday. Look, this thing's already started rallying. Look at that. This thing was down to 50 cents. It's up to $3.36. This was the first of the year, though. This is when Bitcoin did start rallying. But look, BTBT has not sold off. It has not sold off with Bitcoin hardly. Like if I were to compare a chart with Bitcoin and Bit Digital, like Bitcoin doesn't look like this. So we'll see. I'm going to have to do some research on this. And look, it's not as overbought as a lot of the other ones. It's still up there. It's 67, but, it is what I'm going to watch for. How, 2018? Wow. That's actually pretty impressive. Like, look at this reverse head and shoulders here. It's not really. Not really, but... Trying to see if I see anything that would make me... Not. I called this out Friday. I do know that. I called this out right here. Or it was Thursday. And I said I want to be a buyer. So, it looks like we're putting in somewhat of a double top. Yeah, but that's it, guys. Guys, tomorrow morning, we'll be like, look at the volume too, guys, on Friday. Look at that. Look at that volume. All right, so we might be on to something again. So go through, do your research. What are the leaders? What are the laggards? Like, what are your big names? Like semiconductors, NVIDIA. Really, NVIDIA is the name. The only name you need to know. But you have your AMD. You have your Intel. But, you have, in semiconductors, you have AMD and NVIDIA. And then the rest. Those are your leaders and your laggards. Intel, Taiwan Semiconductors. All right. Technology. Or like, just something like that. Like banks. You have your JP Morgan. You have your, what would be a runner-up? Like you have your JP Morgans. You have your Goldman Sachs. See, there are different banks though, so I can't even really say that. I don't know. Just go through, do your research. See what stocks you want to be long, what stocks you want to be short. Like, let me give you an idea here. We brought up CCJ last week. Look at this. This is a nice chart, guys. This is a beautiful chart. There was another one that we read, and I was actually looking at this, like if we would have went and bought it in 2021. Oh, there was another one that I wrote down. I think it was I was looking at earlier, like $5 stock to 31. But look at this. Look at this one I'm gonna show you guys. And nobody's talked about this. LNG. Look at that. Look, do you understand if you'd have put $1,000 on this bad boy in March, we'll go up here, not even the tick. But this thing had a low of 20. I thought it was. No, hold on. That's still a lot though. 20 to 180. Like, and it has done nothing but rally, guys. Done nothing but rally. This is your EMPs. But yeah, so LNG, CCJ, I think CCJ is uranium. I think. No, maybe it's not. That's going to be it, guys. Again, watch your crypto stocks, okay? Like MSTR, Bido, BTBT, Riot, Mara. Okay, look at that, guys. Look at that. That's a beauty. What you want to do is you want to buy weakness in the midst of strength. And what does that mean? So what do we have? We have a sell-off. You have a sell-off. Kind of put in a base. You're starting to go to the upside now. Okay, look, weakness in the midst of strength. Okay. This looks really good. I kind of like Bido, and I think somebody came on here not too long ago and said that they were long that. And I kind of like that idea. Look at the RSI. Dude, this is an opportunity. That is an opportunity if I've ever seen one. It's at 40. Okay, the MACD is a negative, but, I'm just, guys, look at that. It stuck the level. It tried to break it, said nope. Okay, said nope, and it retook it. There was a small gap. That's what it did. It filled the gap. It went back and forth. There's still a gap here though that I don't like. I don't like this gap here, guys. So I'm actually gonna put something there to remind me that that gap is there. Let's see here. Boom, boom. That is the gap. I mean, technically, it could be right there. But technically, it's right there. It's that whole candle. So, we'll just see what comes first. We're just going to put it there. But technically, it could be this whole thing here. There's a gap and go. Gap, gap, gap. What else do we see here? Let's go to the 4 hour. There's a couple things I see. This is what makes trading, man. Or like what makes it fun. You don't know what you're gonna find. You don't know what you're gonna get into. You don't know what's gonna happen the next day. Like, or what sector you're gonna be trading. So there is your downtrend. Let's see here. Hold on. Yeah, I do have to get off here because I want to get some sleep tonight. Okay, I do want to get some sleep tonight. That's damn near perfect, huh? I could have did this to the upside. Let me zoom in. There we go. It's a lot better, right? That's sick. Look at that. That is a beauty, guys. That is a beauty. It's not... doesn't have to be perfect, but wow. Look at that. So that's what I'm watching. I want to see if we can get up and break outside of this range. Edit. Okay, for curves, let's see here. Oh, we have a coefficient on here? Wow, that's so cool. Let's just do orange. 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 Color is orange. Let's give us some long dots. Visible. What is this? I do want to see this. Is that for up? Okay, yeah, I figured it was for that. I figured it was for the range. I figured that. So that's cool too. Like, look at that, guys. And it's kind of played it. Look, 50%. This is the center line. Pulls back to the 25, retest to 50. You know, it's funny how, like, right here, how it gapped up above it. That's really cool. I'm going to have to play around with that. I've known it's here. I've known that it's done that. I just never really used it. So, again, 7:30 to 4 tomorrow, we will be live. Man, that's crazy. So, I like how it's trading in this range. It's pretty nuts. So Bido, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna come up with some ideas for us, guys. I'm gonna go tomorrow. We're gonna go through a training exercise tomorrow. When we get on early, we're gonna go through the news. We're gonna see it, and you're gonna go through a boot camp, and I'm gonna teach you. You want to be a trader, and you want to do this for a living. You want to change your life. You want to change your family's life. Well, it takes a lot of work. You got to get up early in the morning. You got to read the news. You got to know what the news means. Does it mean upside, downside? Is it even relevant? Is it even going to move? What do you do from there? You need to check RVOL. You need to check the ranges. You need to check the 52-week highs and lows, year and high and lows. There's so much. Okay, your RVOL, which is your relative volume, your relative strength. You know, there's a lot. I'm gonna come up with the whole checklist. I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna do it right here live tomorrow, 7:30 to 4. I will see you guys then, guys. You guys have any more questions before I go? I can answer them. But I like this. This is cool. This is really cool. This is really cool. That's such a nice range. There might be some more upside into it. I kind of hope Bido goes, honestly, because I want to. I feel like we're early on. Like if we're early on crypto, like let me go back to TradingView. If we're early on crypto, that would be really cool. What chart am I? I think I'm on a 4-hour one. A 4-hour chart. Okay, and it's not necessarily trading like. No. I can't. Let's see here. Yeah, look. So. We're gonna go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. What day is this? 4/14. 4/14. 4/14. April 14th. April 14th. April 4th. So it is, guys. Look at that, guys. That's awesome. So look at this. All right, we're on a 4-hour chart. We are on crypto. Crypto's doing the same thing, and it's trying to break out, guys. Can it get through? I'm just really curious. Can it get through? I want to see if it can get through this level. All right, I'll make this bigger so you guys can see it. All right, let's see. We got ranges here. Boom. So crypto's kind of doing, crypto's doing the same thing. Look, is that a failed rejection? That's crazy if it is. That's crazy if it is, man. It actually sucks. Now how the hell am I supposed to see that, dude? Come on. Kidding me? Can't really draw the range. I mean, I can draw it. There's that. So, and look. No, not there. So, there's the range for crypto. So, I'm going to have crypto on my watch. All right, crypto is on the radar for tomorrow. I want to see it hold at this level. This is such a nice setup, guys. Look at that. You seeing what I'm seeing, gang? Look at this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, guys. And I eyed this up Friday. Look at that. It's a fucking beauty. Look at that. And then look, we still have room up here. You still have a ways to go to 29. Let's look at the 15-minute chart, okay? Dude, I don't need... Why does it... Oh, is that what that does? It's not going to do it. It's not going to zoom in. It's okay. That is quite alright. So that's a 15-minute chart. It's been trending down. And I think we just hit the bottom. Boom, boom, boom. See how it builds these little bases and then boom. Like it built the base, boom. Built the base, boom. Built the base, boom. Built the base, tried to sell off, but nope. See ya. So, look, up to the upside. You put in reverse head and shoulders, just kinda. I wouldn't call it one, but it definitely is in a way. It's just not clean. It's very ugly. Turn the old resistance into support. You know, put in the base, boom. Little base, boom. So, we'll see. Look at this base, guys. So, we'll see what happens, man. I'm watching crypto, guys. Crypto is on my watch list. I'm actually really excited to see what comes with this because it could be big. It could be big, guys. Could be big. Doesn't mean it has to be, but it could be. All right, so we have a nice range there. We want to look at that. Now again, it looks like it's on the top side. Hold up. Edit. Undo. I don't know how to redo. There it goes. Alright, so I'm watching that. You guys have a great night. Ivy League Trading, Monday through Friday. We'll be live 7:30 tomorrow morning, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Like, share, subscribe.